The new iPhone, with their engineered architecture, powerful GPUs and machine learning capabilities, allow users to take on tasks that were previously possible only using a laptop. The next evolution is about transferring the smartness of a mobile phone to new devices like those in the Internet of Things or in the emerging field of edge computing. This is the message that came out from the recent ARM Development Summit. But before watching the highlights from the summit, let's see first how the new iPhone fits into this. During the presentation of the new iPhone 12, Michael Chow, executive producer of Riot Games, announced that League of Legends, a game developed for the PC, can now be played on the new iPhone 12 with the same or even better quality. Also, because of Verizon 5G, Wi-Fi is not required and players don't need to be tied to a desk to play. League of Legends is just one of the many applications that was developed for a laptop or desktop environment, but can now be accessed with a smartphone without sacrificing the user experience. Users that don't need GPUs or fast Intel chip can already use their smartphone to easily access the web or use productivity tools or access thousands of apps. The mobile world is becoming the main destination for developers, and new chip architectures allow for a developer to create for a platform and easily adapt the solution to other platforms. ARM is at the center of this evolution. Now, ARM is not exactly a household name, but the company, which is based in Cambridge in the UK, was recently acquired by Nvidia, with the goal of bringing together the world leader in AI computing with the most popular CPU company in the history of computing. This is how ARM sees the future and how companies are reacting to it. Let's take a listen.
Now, mobile development has come a really long way. At the launch of app stores, there were only 500 applications, and we now live in a world of 8.9 million apps and 204 billion downloads every year. As you may have heard already, mobile developers is already a huge community of 13 million people. And this means that mobile is now the primary target for the majority of software developers worldwide. But we're in the midst of a change, a transition to 64-bit. Around 60% of the apps are already available as a 64-bit version. Leading app stores are driving a transition to 64-bit. But why are they moving? Well, the answer is better baseline performance. 64-bit can add as much as 20% in some workloads. In game development, we see that 64-bit provides an overall frame rate uplift ranging from 9.5 to 16.7%. Now that is a huge lift in a world that's moving to 120 frames per second content. It's in the range of a generation of GPU improvement that can be unlocked just by compiling your application to 64-bit. Now, from a performance perspective in the platform, we're building on that transition to 64-bit, and from 2022, our big cores will be 64-bit only. So the innovations of mobile software developers reach well beyond the smartphone. The user experience of the smartphone is now expected in other established markets, from your TV to your smart home devices, to reshaping our expectations of what a laptop can be. The smartphone experience is even shaping the car and industrial applications. ARM technology is at the center of that incredible evolution, but it'll also be the basis of future platforms.
Mobile devices have become the primary portal to the internet, a large part of the way we socialize and a popular gaming platform. It's really become the personal computer. If you want to be where new technology and applications are being created, you have to be developing for ARM. And now IoT is taking off. ARM development is ramping up in automotive and equipment companies. Even white goods manufacturers now have ARM developers. It feels strange referring to a car or robot as a device, but they share similar attributes and challenges to the simplest of IoT devices and can be solved in similar ways. You're also seeing cloud and high-performance compute gravitate towards ARM. Cloud native is eroding barriers for moving applications between architectures. In essence, everything that's cloud native should just work on ARM. And with edge computing, you've the merge of infrastructure and IoT technologies where the natural diversity of the ARM ecosystem presents the ideal set of solutions, in my view.
The Unity Distribution Portal, or as we refer to it, UDP. The competition in today's mobile market is fierce. To succeed, you need to get your game in front of as many as potential game players as possible. Now, Google Play is the dominant mobile game market on Android, and many developers start and finish their games releases with just this platform, either because they're unaware of other app stores or because they don't think they have the resources to sign up, track, and redeploy to all of them. We've created a largely self-serve dashboard that anyone, even a solo developer, can use to share my games more widely. To give your game maximum reach, it's important to address local audiences individually. Each market has its own legal framework, its own currency and audience needs, and understanding and meeting these requirements can be a huge headache. UDP solved this problem in a single hub. Now, there's no such thing as too much visibility for content creators. The Unity distribution portal for games works at every stage of their life cycle. By gaining maximum visibility for your game, tracking its performance from launch day onwards, and controlling all facets of your channel distribution with the UDP console, you'll have stronger insights about where to take your game next. Today, over 400 studios are already using UDP to boost their sales and reach a wider audience. Now that's about reach, that's about deployment, but where you reach audiences and on which hardware you reach them is equally important for the outcome of your game. So I'm going to talk about ARM64. Now at Unity, we're seeing an increase in user adoption of ARM64, and we're seeing getting over that inflection point. The point at which there's critical market mass and actually for us to switch over to primarily switch the default on ARM64. Now we've seen a tripling of ARM64 adoption. And Unity is ready for ARM64 today. With Unity 19.4 LTS, our long-term supported version of Unity, we now default to 64-bit on new projects. 80% of new builds made with Unity are targeting ARM64. Now this is a continued area of collaboration together with ARM, where we focus on the overall performance improvements, battery performance improvement, and reduced binary sizes that we can establish through our work on ARM64. Now, as we keep on collaborating into the future together with ARM, I want to talk about Burst. Burst is our custom compiler technology that we're collaborating on, which enables Unity developers to get the most out of ARM hardware. It exploits parallelism and multi-core systems fitting well on the increased core count mobile world targets. Burst compiled code is able to compute frames with higher number of elements faster, allowing for better performance, less thermal throttling, lower battery consumption, and in the end, more engaging content. This demo that we're showing you right now shows a 2 times performance improvement overall in both scene simulation and rendering, with reduced thermal throttling and a more stable frame rate, which is what we've primarily have focused on. Now, as we continue benchmarking and working together with ARM and making sure we produce the optimal code, we'll continue seeing greater perf in real-world applications.
Just like Apple was ahead of the game when it started the transition to a 64-bit in 2013, Apple is today ahead of the game in allowing developers to create for the whole Apple ecosystem. At the last Worldwide Apple Developer Conference, the company also announced the transition to an ARM-based framework, where developers can seamlessly develop for all Apple products, including Mac, iPhone, Apple TV, and in the future also smart glasses and self-driving cars. You can also find a video with more details at the link above.